this morning. Coach Adeyemi Adedeji Anthony joins me all the way from, I think, Switzerland this morning. Good morning, Coach. How are you doing?
Yeah, good morning. I'm fine. How are you? Happy weekend there.
Yeah. Great to hear from you. Right. Coach, it's good to be talking with high spirit this morning because Nigeria is in the final of the African playoffs. If only Nigeria can scale this hurdle, then next year, in March, Nigeria will be playing in the Intercontinental playoffs. That's in Mexico. So let's look at the last game against Gabon. Gabon, if you look at, of course, you look at the result of the two teams before that game, you would have given it to Gabon because Gabon, when you look at what they did in the qualifiers, they just lost by just like a point to Ivory Coast. Just that was because they drew against Ivory Coast. That was the only point they dropped, of course, and that's what made the difference. And you saw them against that Super Eagles team, and that Super Eagles team came into the game on the back of a 4-0 victory against Benin Republic. And that game, in that starting lineup, you saw Osimhen starting, Lukman, Adams, Chukwueze, Ndidi, Zaidu, Bassi, Frederick, Osai Samuel, and Nwabali. And you would have thought that, what kind of formation was this man, what was this man trying to do? Because I know a lot of people disagree with that when this came out. What do you think the man was trying to do? Maybe we need to establish that first.
Thank you for having me. It's a very good question. One thing you have to understand that before Eric Sheck came to this to come to lead in the Super Eagles, I have been somebody where the only coach that have stand behind me from onset when he came to the Super Eagles to become the Super Eagles head coach. For me, seeing him now coming with a different tactics against the Gabon, it's not a surprise to me because I saw a lot of dynamic way he played when he was with Mali because this coach is a tactical coach. He always used the instrument that he has in his locker room and have the methodology of he gather the databases of the opponent and we analyze it and at the same time come to conclusions so that he can be able to play according to the tactical discipline of the opponent. Then he can be able to use the player that will suit his playing philosophy that can weaken the opponent. So him playing Ademola Lookman ahead of Moses and playing Shiko is also ahead of Moses. I think it's a tactical plan because if we look at the Gabon team is not for me as a coach. When I break out the weakness and the strength and the Gabons, I know they are not seem to match the Super Eagles because I've been in a radio station in Ibadan 88.5, which is a chronic. It's one of your junior colleague. Your junior colleague invited me. I told him that Nigeria is going to beat Gabon, but the only people I'm wary about, who I'm afraid of, is the DR Congo. I would prefer to play Cameroon instead of DR Congo. So beating Gabon, I think for me, it's not surprising to me because I know that we could have beat Gabon even more than 4-1, even something like 8-1 or 7-9-1. But at the end of the day, 4-1 is enough for us to go to the next round.
So you were so as at when it was 1-1. You were still expecting, that means for you to say you have won by 8, more than 4 goals. That is that you saw that Nigeria could win when we couldn't, all we could get in regulation time was 1-1.
My brother, sir, to be honest with you, the Gabonese were lucky because we couldn't take our chances in the first minute of the game. The first 10 minutes, we have more than 2-3 chances. Akwa Adam has chance. Osimhen has couple of chances. We could not put the ball at the back of the net. Osimhen have a close range heading. The goalkeeper parried the ball over the ball. So we have a lot of chances. Suppose we have taken that chance from onset, then the match could have been a different ball game. And if you watch also in the second half, we have a couple of chances too. We could not take it. Gabon was just lucky to escape those goal chances that we have. So and football is football sometimes can be unfriendly. If you refuse to take your chance, you're going to be punished for it. And that is what exactly happened that comes in favor of Gabonese. That in the 89 minutes or 90 minutes they scored the equalizer and they prolonged the match to extra time. Also before the extra time too, we still have after 12 minutes of play, we still have a couple of 3-4 chances to bury the game. Osimhen could not put the ball at the back of the net because Gabonese because just want us to go to the extra time. I think the Gabonese were so lucky. If not that, at least first half we could have beat them 4-0. Second half we could have played a different ball game.
All right. Okay. Let's not put that behind us now. We've said what the coach the strategy deployed against Gabon, and you have raised another point which I was coming to. The fact that you said you would have preferred we played Cameroon to DR Congo. You said you have is it that you think that DR Congo will pose a lot of problems, especially now that the formation again might be changing because the standing captain Wilfred Ndidi, because of the yellow card he's suspended for that game and he will not be played.
I can also send you the blog, the sports journalist blog after the interview. I said it 3 weeks ago, immediately after we beat Benin Republic. I said when he interviewed me after the match, I told him that the Gabonese is a walkover for us. We're going to beat the Gabonese because Gabonese their weakness is they are weak when it comes to tactical discipline without the ball and with the ball because they are not playing more flexibility football, more flowing football. But why I choose why I said I was scared of the DR Congo, when I watched DR Congo in the previous AFCON against South Africa, they dominated the game. Unfortunately, they lose to South Africa, and they are the fourth team in the AFCON. They took fourth. And if you look at the World Cup qualifying, you can see a lot of threats they put in also against Cote d'Ivoire. So to be honest with you, they are small country with lesser population, but their football has gone beyond what we are talking about today. Because right now you can see that they are threatened when it comes to African football. Against Nigeria too, we have played 5 matches together against this opponent, and they won 3, we won 2, and we draw 1. To tell you that head to head they were not better than them. So and when you look at the game against Cameroon, and Cameroon is an arch rival to Nigeria, I believe that when Nigeria is playing against the team like Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Ghana, we put more effort, we play more to expectation. But when you are playing a small color country, you underrate them. That is my fear from the onset. And now when I look at their match again against Cameroon between 2 days ago, I see it that the team is a very fantastic team. They are very, very, very good discipline with the ball, without the ball. They have a lot of cohesion. They have a lot of ball possession. They play in unit. They defend in unit. They attack in unit. And they play with art. They have a lot of resilience like Nigerian foot, like Nigerian team. I think this team is going to be the head-to-head tomorrow match is going to be a very difficult match. I just pray that Richel find the right balance that can outplay the opposition, which is the DR Congo.
Of course, we've seen us play the high line now. Of course, we saw how we were pressing, and I think I've seen it where it's so obvious in our last 2 games. Then when you look at what we played against Gabon, do you think the high line will work, especially with people complaining about the goalkeeper? Our goalkeeper can be, playful or very, at times he can be a calamity if we want to put, for the want of the word to use now, if we're not careful. Do you think the high line will be appropriate against a team like DR Congo now?
To be honest with you, you can't compare the Benin team and the Gabon team with this DR Congo. Why? Because when you look at the Benin team, their bit of play, their team game plan and approach to game against Nigeria and Uyo, it makes it easier for us to be able to outplay them because they come all out. They know they are looking for a draw and they come all out to want to possess ball. They want to attack us. You cannot do that with Nigeria national team, because we have horsepower when it comes to the attacking force. So when you want to play against somebody like Nigeria, you have to be more cautious when it comes to defense line. So that you have to block it, you have to defend in collective. The Beninois did not defend in collective. If you look at the Gabon on Thursday night, they defend in collective in the first 25-30 minutes. That's why we could not score goal. Where after sake of the first half, they came out to they want to play, they want to possess the ball. That then shows their weakness, that they are not good on ball, their flexibility, ball circulation is not good as enough to what can to outplay Nigeria. And we take advantage of their loose passes because you can see that their build-up play is not so good enough because they are not good on ball. But tactically discipline when they started the game was good. So with this Congolese, this DR Congo, you can watch their game from onset against Cameroon, and the previous match they have been playing the same system, 4-4-3 system, but they play middle low block. They wait for you because they are very fast in transition. They have fast wingers, they have fast attacking midfielder that has a good cohesion, that can pass the ball, that can give the last passes. So this type of team will be very difficult for us to unlock. If they come out to play high pressing or to play the way the Benenoa play or the way the Gabons play, then we are going to punish them. But I don't see them playing like that because they will be more passive, they will be more conscious, they will be more defensive minded and waiting for the counter attack to surprise us, just the way the Gabon did against us. Gabon have a couple of counter attack because they don't have a fast offensive minded players. Aubameyang is old, and the other players are not good enough when it comes to central midfield. Where we're going to have a problem against the DR Congo is going to be the midfield, because the midfield head to head against our midfielders, I think they have more ball flexibility, more cohesion, and more intelligent play more than our central midfield, to be honest with you.
All right, as a coach, let's look at how you're going to be setting up the team if you are in Eric Shell's shoes. How are you going to be setting it up? To
be honest with you, I have been doing this during the time of Parceiro, and they take advantage of that. Parceiro went to the final in AFCON. When he played against Portugal, he lost 4-0. I told him that the best way to play is 3-5-2, and he changed the system to 3-5-2 or 3-4-3, 3-4-3, and he changed the system after losing the first match in AFCON. He then decided to play with three different defense, and he took advantage of that. He take the glory. With Richel, I have been doing this, breaking down weakness and strength of opponent, and it has been working for us. I know that some of them listen to it, because my colleague too, I try to help him one way or the other. At this time of the day, that we have a match against DR Congo, I believe that I want to leave the job for him and the video analyst that he have employed, the Nigerian Football Federation have employed. I just believe that he will get the right balance, because the defense line is not going to be touched 100%. The midfield, you just have to look for what, I don't know the system you want to play. Suppose I have spoke to him, then I could have known what to do. But the midfield is where our problem is going to be. If you can be able to get the right midfielder right, the right people to play in that position, which I don't know if he's going to use Oyedika or Oyeka or Iwobi. But for me, to be honest with you, playing two midfield, just the tip. Playing two midfield against this DR Congo is going to punish us. If you want to win them, you have to play with three midfield that can be able to contain them. They don't have a space for them to be able to do the cohesion or to play in collective. That is the only thing I can say. But to me, to tell him the line up, I will do that.
You are looking at most likely if you are going to, that means there should be like a diamond formation in the midfield.
Exactly. You have to be more compact in the midfield. No space for the opponent. If you don't do that, they will punish us, because that is where their strength lies. And we are playing with two midfield. If you play with two midfield against three midfield, then and it's a good team that can be able to. They have the flexibility of ball flowing football. I think then they are going to punish us. But if we have to match them 3 against 3 in the midfield, then the way we play against South Africa, that would not give them space for them to play, then we're going to have a hedge ahead of them. But if you play this way you have been playing against Benin, and the way you play against Gabon, with 2 man in Iwobi and Ndidi now is not there. We're going to pay for it, because against Benenoa, don't forget, Benenoa has better chance before we got those goals we score. When they have 1-on-1 against which stand in one bally. Even after we score the first goal, they still have 1 goal, stand in one bally, have to save the ball. Two balls, stand in one have to save. Why? Because they take advantage of our weakness of our midfield. Because our midfield is not, we don't have a good marker in the midfield. Both of them are ball player, and it's going to affect us. We just have to have somebody that's more disciplined in that position, that do more the defensive job more than the attacking job. Then you're going to have they can sit at the end in the front of the defense. Then we can have advantage against this team. But if we think we want to play the way we play against Gabon, then they are going to punish us.
Like you said, how do we Because going forward now, that means it's obvious that the midfield is where, if we can get the midfield right for this team, that means this team can become unbeatable globally. What kind of, as a coach yourself, who do you think, have you spotted any Nigerian somewhere whom you think would also come into this midfield to change things in the future? Are you seeing any talent that you can recommend?
For me, there is a talent inside that national team. That's a Super Eagles team at the moment, but they are overlooking that player. I don't know why they are overlooking him. That is this player that's playing for Sekubus in Belgium. The Oyedika. He's a very fantastic
Oh,
midfielder.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Edika, yeah.
Oyedika is a very fantastic midfielder, but I'm asking myself all the time when I watch the match, which I don't want to talk to the coach or talk to anybody that I don't want to interfere in his job. I'm asking myself, what are they not seeing in this the quality of this player? Because he's a fantastic player. He's a very good ball. He can keep the ball. He's calm. He have a good long range passes. He can do the short passes. He's technical. He's technical good and tactical discipline. I don't see why. I don't know why they don't give him chance. They always give Oyedika chance ahead of him. Maybe because he's rugged. But for me as a coach, I love more flexibility, more ball intelligent player, and players that can make the basic principle of the game when it comes to midfield work for me as a coach. But every coaches have the way they approach their game.
All right, quickly before we go, let's quickly, maybe we can go to Europe. I saw a couple of games yesterday in Europe. Yesterday, for example, in Group A, Germany, they didn't start so well, but they've started winning their games now. They won Luxembourg by 2 goals, and they are topping that Group A right now. And in the other game in Group A, Slovakia defeated Northern Ireland, and Northern Ireland might have to wait. Maybe eventually they will pick a playoffs to get to the World Cup. What do you think about this German side? Quickly, coach, before I let you go.
The German side is a very good side. We know what the German can do. They have been one of the best in the world when it comes to World Cup. They have won the World Cup a couple of times. I think at the moment they have not get the right starting 11 right, and I believe that as long as they get it right, they will start to do what they know how to do best. But at the moment, they have not been in the best form that everybody is expecting them to be. Just like the Italian, I think they will find their way out to qualify for World Cup.
And coach, before this will be the last because I know that you were, of course, you have interest in this one. In Group B, there's Switzerland, Kosovo, Slovenia, Sweden. How can Sweden be at the bottom of that group? Sweden, with that, with the personnel that they have, with its quality, and they have to sack their coach, and right now they will be starting. They have a game today. Do you think they can still make it to the World Cup? What games have been played?
For Sweden, it will be very difficult because just like it is now difficult for Super Eagles to qualify for World Cup. When you don't start well, you're going to pay for it. So Switzerland have started well. They know what is at stake. They come with their A game from onset, and it has paid off. So Sweden did not come with their A game. Now they are struggling to make sure they qualify to bring out their A game. And now maybe it may be too late for them now to qualify because every team now we know that by playing a draw or avoiding defeat will give them hedge against Sweden. So nobody will want to lose to them at this point of time.
All right, Coach Adedeji Anthony, all the way from Switzerland. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. I just wish Nice Super Eagles all the best. The way I've been wishing them all the time. I hope that they can cross this last undo before they can go to the intercontinental match. That's the last match ahead of them. All the best. Thank you for having me.
All right. Okay, don't worry. We will continue the conversation on Monday. God